I remember days they used to laugh at me. Used to show them on my records talking casually. Used to say it was a passion on my path to be. Then they told me that I couldn't, so I had to be. Tell me what they really think about it now. Used to hate it, but I guarantee they're proud. Had to do it just to show them that I could, yeah. Now I finally think I took it where I should, yeah. Had a jokes on you and now you're on and laughing. I did a whole lot of winning. Look, it came from a passion. I see a whole lot of knowings. I could see now in public and that may think a lot of things. Man, at least think something, now you the judge. Hey, now tell me where you ended up. Yeah. Look, I bet it was a simple job. Yeah. Look, I went and took a different route. Yeah. Look, that's why my life is different now. Back in my feelings, look, when I wasn't so gifted and I was learning to do this and all I heard were the critics and I don't blame you for that shit. Look, I was way out the basis, but I just needed some talent so I could wait this to greatness, oh yeah. You ain't ever think this, no, no, no. Stop me while I started, homie, whoa, whoa. Now this shit settled, it's go better and better, but I'll always remember, yeah, yeah.
Welcome back to That1 Podcast with C-Roc and Kinz. We're here in Clearwater, rocking it out. It's a takeover of Tampa. And I'm here with Kinz. Kinz, what's up?
How you doing?
Doing great. Doing great. How do I look?
You look
listen,
fantastic.
yeah,
You look fantastic.
You don't have to ask.
I know. I got my raspy voice still because I lost it, but it's coming back. It's coming back.
Yeah, we're good with it. We're good with it, Kinz. Hey, guys, we're here with Preston Ely. We met through Sean Kelly, Digital Social Hour. If you haven't checked out that podcast, you got to check it out. And he created an amazing community. I love what he's doing over there in Vegas. And so shout out to Sean. But I met Preston through Sean's group. I love networking and love connecting with people, building relationships. And Preston and I hit it off right off the bat. So he wanted to come in and I wanted to have him in, find out his story and share him with you. Preston, what's up, man?
How you doing?
Yeah,
Thanks for having me, man. This is freaking awesome.
And now he's here. We're so excited.
Yeah, dude. So you got an amazing story. And, you know, I can relate to it so much because, you know, life's about journeys and ups and downs and how you handle it and how you come back from it and all that. And
can we start with a confession?
Yeah, let's go.
Disclaimer.
Yeah.
This is the first podcast I've ever done.
Are you serious?
We feel honored.
Dude.
You never forget your first.
You're popping my pod cherry right this moment.
Wow.
I wasn't going to tell you that.
Oh, that's cool. No, it's all right. And make sure that mic's in front of you.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's incredible though.
But no.
I've been in the industry for forever but have just kind of dipped out for a number of years. And this is the first time I'll be sharing my story with anybody besides my followers.
Oh man,
awesome.
listen,
I'm a little bit nervous.
That's cool.
I don't get nervous.
It's an honor, man. It's an honor to be able to do that for people.
Super cool.
I love that. That's why I started podcasting in the first place, is because so many people see the outside and they don't get to see the behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. And to me, like, I have so much I've been through people don't see, that I think that we can inspire people by sharing those stories and how we overcome and we just keep going.
100%.
I talk to myself a lot. And one thing I say to myself all the time is keep going, dude. Just keep going. Mm-hmm. And so no, I'm interested in getting into this and you sharing it out here and us putting that out there to inspire people. So let's get into it, man. Like, where did it start for you? Like, you grew up in Ohio, I know that. But
I was 2 years old, and then where do you want to start?
Nah, man, wherever.
So you're a Midwest kid?
Born in Ohio.
Okay.
Moved to Florida when I was 10. I felt like it was time for a change, so I just told my parents, "Let's." I was raised in a great family. Man, I'm not sure how deep you want to go here.
Deep.
Where do you want to start?
Go deep, bro.
Where should we start?
So you go to Florida. Well, tell us a little bit about, like, how tell us for people that are just meeting you for the first time.
Yeah. Okay. So I grew up middle class. You know, we weren't rich. I'm not going to totally describe our situation because my mom's probably praying and cheering for me right now. She's going to be watching this.
Oh,
yeah.
Two loving parents. They beat the odds and stayed together. Yeah, and awesome. If they hadn't done that, I would not be here.
Yeah.
I've been through so much. I would just be, you know, I'm not sure how people do it. I got two loving parents and a mother praying for me my whole life. And that's kept me alive my whole life, you know? So, didn't do bad in school, but hated it. Kind of dropped out my senior year and just did sales, door-to-door, vacuum cleaners, door-to-door, steak and seafood. Right off the bat, started making money, and then never went to college, I became a financial broker.
Wow.
My mom got me the job, making $4.25 an hour. Minimum wage as an assistant to the vice president.
Wow.
And the owner of the company was away, and I slipped on the phones and started selling stuff and realized I was good at sales. So for the next 10 years, I was the #1 salesperson for that company. So for 10 years straight. And that's I didn't realize it at the time, but that's kind of a big deal. You know,
Yeah.
like my friends were dropping in and out of college. And then, you know, they had 4 different jobs by the time they were, you know, and I was at the same place for 10 years.
Yeah.
10 years, 10,000 hours, expert status with sales. And that's just super foundational. Anybody young watching this or anybody, I just heard this. Russell Brunson just posted this thing today, and it was like so spot on. If you're in your 20s, I don't know what the demo is for this podcast.
No, it's, yeah.
Don't think about building a huge company or you know, becoming famous or just any of these things that everybody is into. You need to focus on building one skill. That 10 years that I spent hammering the phones, it was straight cold calls. There was barely an internet.
Yeah.
Like I started and I had email for the first time in my life. We were calling out of the yellow pages.
Yeah.
Businesses. So for 10 years, I'm cold calling businesses. And then it's a lot of money. I was making by the time I was 21 years old, I was making 6 figures. Had a house on a 5-bedroom house on a golf course.
Early
luxury
20s?
cars, married, 21.
Jeez. I was
Like,
still wearing diapers when I was 21.
yeah. But I lost it all relatively quickly.
So wait a minute. So when you started making money, when did you feel like at that age you felt like, man, I made it in a way?
21.
Not that we ever make it, but when we're thinking of that at a young age, 21.
Yeah.
And how much do you think you're making?
I was making, I don't know, 100 to 200, which back then was a lot.
So into the 6 figures, pushing 200. And then how did the ego react to all that? Like, did you start thinking,
Man, I was raised in church, but had just had a bad taste for it. For whatever reason, I had just gone my own way, and I was partying and just doing.
Yeah.
If you make a list of all the wrong things you could possibly do, I was doing all those things, and dude, the ego played a huge part, and just recklessness.
Yeah,
you have to save your freaking money. You know, I just racked up like $80,000-$90,000 in debt, and just. Yeah, man, foolishness.
Yeah.
Back then, it was just foolishness.
Mhm.
I've gone through cycles of very challenging times, and I've kind of noticed that these things come in cycles.
Yeah.
Regardless what it is, whether it's money for somebody or you know, could be anything. But yeah, that stage, it was just foolishness.
you were making more money than you ever made in your life, but you're also spending more than you were making at that time. And this is one of the big things for youngsters is that they if they could just not change their lifestyle when you start making money. Everybody does it though. They change their lifestyle, they upgrade their lifestyle, and
like
it
a
always
rule.
goes faster than the money comes in.
There's like a rule, isn't that an economic rule?
Yes.
Spend
It seems simple.
rise to meet your income or something. Like
Ebbs and flows, right? Because life isn't linear. So people don't realize like you're going to have this. And I think it is the dips and lows. Like I've had nothing and I've had everything. And it's like, then you come to realize it forms who you are, right? So how would you have lived? What would you tell yourself, you know, after you lost it all? What would you tell your younger self?
I would have told him, stay in church, don't stop praying like I had stopped.
Yeah.
Because it took losing everything back then to come to my senses.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to remember all the stuff I learned when I was a kid, that God is real, that he forgives me for all this stuff that I've done, that I can have a clean conscience, I can have a good life. People were reaching out to me from this. I kept getting like the craziest messages from different people, like just out of the blue. People I used to party with. Preston, God wanted me to tell you we need you. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Oh, wow.
Where have you been?
Yeah.
We'd be out the raves and whatever. Oh, I've been at this church. What? And then somebody else, God just told me you're going to be, and they'd be weeping. God just told me you're going to be a huge, world famous worship leader or like prayer leader, like leader of men and whatnot. Back then, I'm just like, well, dude, what is going on? And God was calling me. God's real. And if he shows up for you, and you can ask him to, and he will. I wasn't asking for it. I was asking to keep having fun. But he does whatever the heck he wants. He wanted me. But I just have to learn things the hard way, man.
So you were in sales, and then you racked up credit card debt, and then did the sales just stop, or did you just see what happened to me too when I was starting to party back in the day? You lose your priorities, right? It was like, where's the next party? Where's the next girl? Where's the next high or whatever? Because, you know, when you're partying, you're doing stupid stuff. And then your focus goes off of your work. So your sales start to drop. Yeah. Is that what happened to you? Like, what happened to the income?
What happened to the income? I think the expenditures just got so high. I mean, money isn't everything. Like, yeah, the money was an issue, but so was the lifestyle. So, you know, it all played a part. And then I was married, and so you can imagine how that goes. But man, I remember sitting outside. I had a pool, and I remember sitting back outside my house, and the pool was black because I couldn't afford to have the pool cleaned. The lawn
it wasn't black, designer black. It was dirty black.
The water was black.
Okay.
The grass was up to here.
Jeez.
I was about to file bankruptcy. My wife had left me. Like, literally, I don't even think I had money to eat. And I'm just sitting there like...
How old were you at this point?
23.
Okay.
And did you have a moment, because a lot of people are like, well, how do I even talk to God? Or did you have a moment like that you got down on your knees and you were like, what was that moment like?
Like surrender.
That changed it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or was that later on?
There was a couple pivotal moments, but yeah, it's just a conversation. God's here right now. God's in you. He's in you. He's in me. Mm-hmm. You know, we could talk to God right this moment if we wanted to, right? Our friends here, we could all have a conversation. So it's just, God, if I keep doing this, I'm going to die. Yeah. So please have mercy on me. I believe the whole thing, because I always did. Jesus is the Son of God. He died on the cross for our sins. Yes, everybody knows that. Who doesn't know that?
Yes, sir.
Right? But you can know, plenty of people know lots of things, and they're still, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to apply it to your life.
Mm-hmm.
You have to apply what you're talking about, or what you're hearing, or what you think you believe, or what you think. You have to receive it for yourself. And so that's what I did. And everything just completely, totally changed. I actually didn't lose that job. I kept that job for another 7 years and did relatively well.
Yeah.
So I love this. It was like you got over the hump, the wheel starts going in the right direction. You're known as the comeback kid, the comeback king. For someone who's through it, what are the simple first steps you took for this comeback?
Yeah. Well, so that was like 1 of 4 comebacks.
Okay.
Yeah. Like you're looking at just now coming up out of for breath out of the big major, what most guys face at midlife. From everything I've studied, and I mean, I've read like, I don't even know how many books about comebacks, about, you know, coming out of situations like this, because I lost it all again just recently, just with bigger numbers, millions, and, you know, now kids, and, you know, the stakes just keep getting higher.
Yeah.
You know, around midlife, it's like so this is a linear age, late 20s. This is for men. Late 20s and then 40s to 50s.
Yeah.
Typically for men, those are vocational identity crises, depression. It's like 2 dips in happiness. If you follow like the happiness curve.
Yeah.
And that's, from my experience, that has played out relatively true. That was true for me. 40s to 50s they've also done studies on this. It is the most, this is not everybody, but it is the unhappiest time for men.
Why is that?
40s to 50s.
Why do you think that is? Your life isn't maybe how you want it to look, or?
Why do I think it's between 40 to 50?
Yeah, what's the pivotal point that
Well,
What?
let me chime in here because I'm 48,
Yeah.
7, and I'll be 48 in about a week or two. By the way, my birthday is February 7th for everybody.
Yes.
You want to wish me happy
Thank
birthday?
you.
Send me DMs.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think you get to a point where you're like, my life is halfway over.
Yeah.
And what have I done? And I had this feeling for myself, and I don't know if you can relate to this. Like, I was like, I should be so much further along than I am. And I'll share this with you real quick. So, and I was talking about financially or whatever I thought I should be further along, right? And I had a friend, really good friend. She's a mentor. Shout out to Amelia. She said to me, I don't ever want to hear you say that again. Because I was feeling this feeling, but she said, you know what? She had an high 8-figure exit. But she said her family was she sacrificed her whole family, kids, relationship. She said, I look at you as a model because you did the foundational thing right with kids, marriage, and then now you're going to explode. And it changed my whole paradigm on this.
Mhm.
And I was like, whoa. And this is what changed things for me.
Hmm.
I don't know if I've ever told her that, but it changed things for me because now I'm looking at, oh, wait a minute. I'm further along than I would have ever imagined in the family side, the foundation side. That other part can happen now. And so I had to have a paradigm shift, but I went through that. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
Well, okay. So for me, and the answer to your question is just now kind of crystallizing for me. It's a crisis of identity. And this is nothing new. This is nothing I invented. This is like plenty of people are aware of this, but some people aren't. We around midlife, this character that we've created, right?
Yep.
To get us through life, to get us to where we've got. And this just gets bigger and bigger, more and more of an issue, the bigger of a character you've created. And I had created a monster
Mhm.
in what I thought was a good way, right? Like I've set about to create a superhuman individual, right? Okay, well, that's not how it works, you know? It is kind of, and it's a necessary like part of the process, but it's not sustainable.
Mhm.
As far as the world system goes, do this and this, and then you'll get that. All right, cool. That works until it doesn't, right? So you've got this whole self-help industry that is specifically facilitating what I was attempting to do. And you and I are both well acquainted with it, right? It's not really that complicated. Control your thoughts, speak what you want, exercise, and this, that, and the other. All good things, right? But why are you doing it?
Yeah. What's
Yeah.
behind it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Why are you doing it? And for entrepreneurs in particular, like if you really get honest, it's fear. Entrepreneur, and this is a huge problem.
Yeah.
Once everything falls apart. And I've heard you touch on this before. Your fuel. What's your fuel?
Mhm.
All right. Well, the most successful entrepreneurs in the world, their fuel is freaking fear.
Mhm.
It's straight paranoia. Do you read Steve
Most
Jobs'
people won't
bio?
admit it.
Read all
Most
those
people
guys'
won't
bio.
admit
They're
it.
freaking
Sure.
nuts, dude.
Yeah.
And the crazy are and the higher levels of that fear and paranoia, coupled with their ability to create systems that will facilitate that whole story,
Yeah.
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So self-development, self-help. What self? Which self are we talking about, right? You've got an entire industry that is dedicated to propping up the ego.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so, okay, that's okay because it's step one in true character development. It almost has to happen. I mean, I know you're pretty aware with this process, right?
Yeah.
You've got to develop this character, and then, if God loves you and you're really gonna keep moving forward in any sort of way that's not gonna destroy the world, this all gotta go,
Mhm.
And for me, man, like I just had to go through so much pain. For me personally, my crisis, it was a crisis of identity. It was a crisis of vocation,
Yeah.
right? It was not like, oh man, I'm bored. I'm at the top. I didn't realize it was empty. It wasn't like that. I had just exited a couple businesses. The SaaS company that I was still the founder at, I had everything systemized. I had a CEO in place.
Which company was this? This was the mortgage.
This was the first CRM in the real estate niche.
Okay.
First or second, freedomsoft.com.
Okay.
It was the biggest product launch in all niches. I mean, bigger than anything that had been done in the marketing world.
Mhm.
Frank Kern, friend of mine, we doubled his, like our goal was to double his record, and we did it. And so that was pumping out $2 million a year to me personally. Mm-hmm. Had a wife, had my first child. And what happened was, because of that passive income, and I was bored with it. So it's not like I even started doing anything destructive.
Yeah.
Right away. I was trying to find out what's the next thing. I was working hard, bro. I spent the first 4 hours of every day, if not more, just working on myself, reading books, working out, training. Mm-hmm. I had undergone 5 back surgeries. That's one thing. There's so many layers to my story. It's ridiculous. I've suffered everything you could possibly imagine. I feel like I've suffered in so many different ways that it's like God just wanted me to have to feel what everybody's story is like. I worked from bed for 2 years. I launched 3 businesses from bed. I couldn't walk. I had a record deal with Atlantic Records and went to have a back surgery, and it was a botched surgery. Like a major double fusion, L4, L5, S1. Don't get surgery. I don't care what the deal is. I got people that can fix it. 5 back surgeries. I couldn't get on a plane. I had to kill the deal.
So wait a minute. What kind of music?
Over.
What kind of music?
It was like.
Were you like an artist or a musician? Or both?
Yeah, both.
Both. Okay.
Yeah, but I worked with producers and writers. Okay. I worked with like the most incredible people. We should get some on the show, actually. I was working with writers that work with Justin Bieber. We were Usher Studio. We were doing all these cool things. We were about to do a reality show for something else. And then I'm like, and then I was about to get married.
Yeah.
So I just got to get this back surgery out of the way. And that was it. Everything's gone. And if I really look back on it, that was probably the tipping point. That was probably everything started going this way, but it was so slow and so insidious because I was so freaking strong. I had made myself so strong in my mind.
Yeah.
Nothing can defeat me.
Right.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
And then, oh yeah? You want to bet?
That's right.
Do you think that happened? Possibly God had made that happen because that path would have destroyed you.
It 100%, not without a doubt.
Like if that music thing blew up, you wouldn't be able to handle it.
Game over.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would have been divorced way sooner. And
yep.
No, man, like I ended up losing absolutely everything because what happened. But to your point, you're absolutely correct. Everything bad that we think is bad is good. There's no such thing as a bad thing. There really isn't.
So someone that's going through that really bad right now and they're at the bottom, so elaborate on that. So it's actually good.
Yeah. That is specifically God knocking on the door of your heart, of your life, and saying, I tried to get your attention some other ways, but you were too busy doing this, and this, and you did not want to hear it. This is the only way I could do it.
You always say that it starts as a whisper, and then if you don't listen, it becomes a roar.
Yeah. And there's, cliches are cliches for a reason. They're usually true.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So there's a thing about confrontation. The longer you wait to confront something that subconsciously, consciously, that you need to confront, pressure builds up. And if you think about a balloon blowing up, if you're going to have that balloon have a leak, you want to have it early, right? Because the bigger it gets, it doesn't just leak and have a little high-pitched noise, right? It pops when it's big.
Yeah.
So in my life, I always use that visualization for myself because if I have to confront something, I'd rather confront it early.
Yeah.
Lean into it, even if it's going to be a difficult conversation, because I don't want to pop.
Yeah.
And I've been there before. So 100%. And the other thing is you get these lessons over and over again until you learn.
Yeah.
You're going to just keep repeating lessons.
Yeah.
So with that being said, one of the things that What was the biggest lesson you've learned so far at this point now? Like you said you've had like the roller coaster, right? But like, did you have a realization recently like that would just blew you away? Like, oh, I see it now.
A grand epiphany. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Aha. Oh, I get it.
Man, I think like I had the grand epiphany when I reunited with the source of life, which is God, which we're actually united with him whether we like it or not. We just have this illusion that we're over here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so my thing with Comeback Kings, with this community that I'm created, is actually launching today, is we want to help you see that you're actually over here, right? You think you're one of these people. You're actually all together, and you're actually way over here. You are living in a complete fantasy, right? Right now, the biggest like thing that I'm working to do is total, complete surrender, right? People talk about that,
Yeah.
but if you don't have something to surrender to, besides some like ethereal, mystical nothingness of, the universe, or just like, I'm curious as to how anybody feels comfortable surrendering to that, right? I've met God himself, literally. I've seen demons and angels with my freaking eyes.
Well, tell us about that. That's fascinating.
All right, I feel like we need to get some sort of like linear, coherent, like my story's all over the place.
No,
No,
it's
but was
fine,
that
but, like,
through a dream or like a vision, or because that's fascinating?
No, I've seen them. My girls have seen them. I've seen them with my girls.
Really?
I have pictures. You want to see a picture of Jesus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that a
Yeah.
question?
I
Yes.
literally have it on my phone.
Incredible.
Yeah. We'll have to take a look at that.
Yes.
You won't believe it.
Do your girls see too? Do they have
They are seers beyond anything I could have.
When did this start? When did this part start? By the way, when we're talking about business success, like you've been to levels, we didn't really get to it, but like,
Dude, I had a mansion, flying private.
Yeah.
Any cars.
how
that
much
I wanted,
revenue are we talking? Like
chefs,
highest revenue?
chefs, housekeepers, just millions.
Yeah. Yeah.
But just so I've never been big on like chasing things. Like I never had an exotic or a boat, or like I liked two things. I liked car, like just a nice car. I always had a 7 Series, and I would just keep them on auto ship, like basically on subscription. And I really like a nice house, so I had like a super nice house on the water in Davis Island. You're probably familiar with.
Yeah.
So we had like an 8,000 square foot home on the water in Davis Island. It was an insane amount of money. And plus I had a penthouse in La Jolla, a penthouse and another one in Tampa. I had money just flying.
Right. So most people that don't have that stuff, they're looking, man, if I could only have that, then I've made it. I'll be happy. I'll be satisfied.
Yeah,
and
absolutely, 100%, totally and completely. I mean, even that's a cliche, right? But it's true.
Yeah.
That money doesn't buy you happiness?
Not even a little bit. I think studies have shown that money is correlated to happiness up until about $65,000 a year. That's
interesting. I think it does allow freedom.
And then it stops. There is zero correlation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been to third world countries. We have a ministry, one of them, that we go down to Cuba. We've started 40,000 churches.
Wow.
That's one of the things that we did. And that's another thing. You could be doing the best, greatest things in the world. I've given millions. I was giving 25% of my money away at the time that like things started really getting challenging. At the time, a $3 million tax bill showed up from the IRS.
Jeez.
Like that little episode from when I was 22 or 21
was nothing.
Like not even.
Like I wish that was my problem now. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I've had all that stuff, and it's just.
So when did you start being a seer, quote unquote seer?
I think probably kind of my whole life, but man, you ever heard of sleep paralysis?
Yeah, I've had that before. It's crazy stuff. Okay,
that's not like a medical thing, right?
Yeah, I never looked into it. I just was trying to run from it at all times because it's not fun.
Like,
you know what that is?
Like,
so you're like laying Right? It's like, but you can't move, but you're
Yeah.
awake,
But you feel like you're awake.
Did you have a weight on your chest?
Yeah. Well, I just felt like I couldn't move, paralyzed. Yeah, I
Yeah.
just couldn't move. And dude, I've only had it maybe probably under 10 times.
Yeah, that's a lot.
But let me tell you
that does
something.
not
It's
happen.
freaky, and I don't want to have it anymore.
Dude, that doesn't happen to everyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why do you think you experienced?
I have no idea. I didn't look
literally-
into it. but
Literally 10 times more than anybody else. Why do you think?
man, I thought it was.
He's turning the tables on you, asking you.
Yeah, I just thought it was a dream. Like, one of those.
Bro, you had
I
a
have no
demon
idea.
perched on your chest, bro.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
100%. Zero
It was
question.
it's the worst.
I've had it happen to like varying degrees, but at one of the degrees, dude, I mean, like, I could smell the sulfur. I could
All
like,
your
see the
perceptions are
blending.
there.
That's so
I haven't had it in a while,
crazy.
thank God.
Every single time it happened, I couldn't move until I got the word Jesus out.
That is so
The
wild.
very second I got that word out, dude, I'm talking the second. And I couldn't, it's hard. You got to fight against it. I think it's, there's different types of demons with different missions. That one wants to shut you up.
Yeah.
You've had it so much because you have a microphone and God's got bigger plans for it than you're thinking right
Yep.
now.
Yep.
I've actually experienced that, and I didn't know what it
Yeah.
was. And now that he's saying that, because he couldn't move, it was dark.
There's stuff like that has
It was
happened to you.
crazy.
You got a big calling on your life because Satan does not mess with, he does not waste his time. He's been around for 6,000 years.
Yeah.
Watching us, experimenting, seeing what makes us. He's not gonna. He doesn't do that stuff. You're gonna do something huge. You already are. It's just gonna get more and more profound for eternal reasons.
Yeah. That
Eternal
is.
purposes.
It is.
And
It's
you got a cross around your neck.
Yeah, 100%, man. I'm an unapologetic believer. So let's talk about this for a second. So this last cycle of election cycle, it seems like something's opened up where people are more free to talk and be open with what their feelings are, their beliefs are. We're seeing a lot more in sports now. Ohio State and Notre Dame just played in the national championship game. Both teams were believers, filled with believers. The whole team was on the field praying before the game. Like you usually see a group of guys in the corner of the end zone. They're kind of packed away. I saw a picture of, I think it was Ohio State, and it like took up half the field. And so people are being more open. I think
That trend is, you think we're going to have a revival?
I feel like it's already happening.
It's already started.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And where do you think it's going to primarily exist?
I don't know. What do you think?
The marketplace.
Yeah.
Business.
Yeah,
Sports is business.
Yeah.
Right? I've been seeing that trend. Me and my friends, we've all been watching it happen for the past 10 years. It's just slowly, and now it's just like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So where are you now, though? Because we followed your journey loosely. So today,
Yeah.
where are you now? Are you
Yes.
happy? Are you content? Are you?
Am I happy? I don't really value happiness maybe as much as I should.
Mhm.
What I value is just is figuring out who God is, how this world works, and what I'm supposed to be doing.
Mhm.
Right? I believe God's got a plan for us, and our goal, and it's how I define success, is finding that plan and doing it, and not stopping no matter what. It's enduring that plan.
Keep going.
Because it involves so much pain you cannot even imagine. God's got a plan. You figure out the plan, you find it, and I've got a whole system that me and my mentors, some of them are billionaires, and they have helped start this revival that we're talking about. Like we have a way to increase your odds, increase your chances, setting the stage in your life to hear God's voice. It's your number one asset. It's the number one most, if you have a prepper bag, if you're a prepper, now I've experienced this. I was a huge prepper. I had 5 years worth of everything in a storage facility.
Yeah.
Irma came through Tampa. The red line where they put the tracking thing, it was going straight through my house. Literally.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well, let me go get all this stuff from,
Right.
from
Now we know where to go. So that's good.
from storage. My daughter had got sick and ended up not eating or drinking for 3 days while this storm was coming through, right? God had told me and my wife at the time, I'd asked him, where do you want us to go? Because the entire state was exiting.
Mhm.
Stay home. by 2 girls. Everybody was telling me that I was crazy, that I was irresponsible, that I was, what are you doing? You're, come over here. You need to come over here. You need to come on. Every single one of those places got wrecked. Every one of them. Even I had a ranch I could have gone to. Up at that place got a freaking F4 tornado and the power's out and this. If I would have done any of them, if I would have got off the plan,
jeez,
my daughter would be dead.
Unbelievable.
Literally. This is high stakes that I'm talking about. I feel like we're just kind of all over the place, but
no. So then,
Okay,
but the storm didn't hit your house,
bro. I'm in South Tampa,
right?
Yeah.
A sprinkler goes off the wrong way, the electricity goes out.
Right,
dude. The electricity did not even go out,
That's
bro. There
insane.
was, I think I picked up one twig from my house. It took a hard right from Tampa and went and hit everywhere that I could have gone out of fear.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right? If you can somehow, with everything that's going on in your life, and everybody's suffering in one way, shape, or form, dude, try not to wait till it's like way up here. Just like
Confront.
the best thing anybody could possibly do is say, God, if you're real, please show me. And what is this all about?
I was going to ask you, how do you quiet the noise to really hear?
Yeah, so I mean, standard stuff. Like
Yeah.
I start every day, like for an hour, 2 hours, just sitting still and
Mhm.
How do you hear? You hear by wanting to hear.
Mm.
That's how you do it.
Intention.
Oh.
Most people do not want.
Yeah,
They do not want
they're
that.
trying to run from it. They're
They-
trying to drown it, numb it, run from it, be distracted by social media, TV, whatever. Right?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to cut out all the.
Yeah.
You have to wake up. Everybody's just like asleep at the wheel, right?
Yeah.
Powerful pause right there. That was a very powerful, the power.
Yeah.
of the pause.
Silence.
Yeah.
It's hard and it's awkward when things are silent.
No, that
you
was
know?
great.
So
Wait,
we're up against the clock. Do you have?
Sure.
All right, before we get into
Okay,
it, though,
this
I
is
just want to.
literally fun. These are like little, I feel.
I just want to point something out.
Okay.
We learned about surrendering.
Yes.
One of the other things is I have a prayer every morning I say, and it's God, please give me the thoughts to have, the words to speak, the actions to take, and the people to be around, because that's a very important thing, who's around you, to serve your mission that you have for me and to glorify you. And it works.
Who's got a better
and then
plan
that's,
than him?
you're surrendering, and then you're good, and then you're paying attention. And then the other thing is, who are we to think that we shouldn't suffer when Jesus was tortured and then hung on a cross to die? Like, why do we think that we're better than that?
He's the ultimate comeback king.
So like when I'm going
I
through
love
tough
that.
times, and this is a little freaky, but I get excited. And I don't like going through tough times. I don't like suffering. But when I go through those tough times, I'm like, I know what's on the other side of this. There's going to be something amazing. I can't wait. I get excited. And it's an intentional thing. Changed everything for me.
Me
So,
too. But now,
yeah.
but now, picture that happening, but then it doesn't stop for 10 years straight.
Yeah. See how long
That's
you
what
believe?
I've just. That's what I'm just now coming
Endurance.
up for air
Yep.
from.
Yep. Yeah.
And so I want to help it, dude. I've gone through 4 or 5 different businesses the past year,
Yeah.
trying to get to where I've just now realized I'm supposed to be, which is turning around and helping all the guys that
Yep.
are suffering so badly right now, bro.
Yeah.
Guys are killing themselves left and
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
There's so much pain, man. And so we're here to help them. And you're absolutely right about Jesus.
That's insightful too for women, because we don't understand what's going on with you guys. You know, we don't understand
What's going on with those guys?
What's
I
what
can't-
we don't get
I
it.
can't
Like, why
understand
are
them.
they shutting down or
Yeah.
going here or going there or treating us this way? Or we don't understand that what's really happening.
Yeah.
You know,
It's huge. All right. We're going to shift focus here. As
this
we
is
wind down.
totally light.
Kinz
I feel like
quickies.
we've been very deep. Okay, I want to know. When is the last time? You ready? When is the last time you laughed so hard that you cried?
Oh my gosh.
When have you had a good old belly laugh, like with the girls?
You know what? That did just happen recently. And I remember it was the first time it happened in literally a decade.
That's
And
so
I was
good for
so
you.
happy that it happened. I was like, man, I didn't even know if I was still capable of laughing. I can't think of what it was.
We all need that, right? I was with my daughter and she was playing these stupid videos and we laughed so hard we cried. And I was like, I haven't done that in months, and it felt so good.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Instant relief.
I was watching a baby giggle the other day. Actually, we go back. My daughter and my wife will lay in bed sometimes. My daughter's 12 now. And we'll watch old videos. And my daughter gets a kick out of that. She was a ham back in the day. But there was one when she was a baby and she was just like belly laughing, giggling. And it just Same thing. It's like, holy cow, man, why don't we do that more?
Exactly.
Bro, Jesus said, if you do not become as a little child, you will by no means enter the kingdom of God, the kingdom of heaven.
Yeah.
Bro, he's not just talking metaphorically. He's not talking about just the way kids trust. He's talking about that innocence, that total abandonment of the cares of the world. And just picture being a little kid.
Yeah.
Everything's good.
That childlike wonder.
You know your mom and dad. You don't know what's going on out there. They got me. Yeah. That's it right there.
I love it. When's the last time you ate so much that you were stuffed?
Never.
Never?
No.
You never? Okay. What, Mikey? When's this?
I mean, Thanksgiving. I probably had.
When's the last time you told someone you love them?
Yesterday.
Yesterday, that's good. And when's the last time you did something for the very first time? You tried something new? Oh, today.
Yeah, podcast.
I guess.
Bro, it doesn't get any newer than this.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I love it.
I feel so honored.
So look,
okay,
we're going to wrap up here, but Preston, you have the Comeback Kings community you're building right now. Where can people go deeper and find out?
It's all set. ComebackKings.com. One of the main training courses we have in there is called Abiding, Hearing His Voice. It's me, my mentors, literally the owner of DeBartolo Development. They own the 49ers. They own freaking most of the restaurants we go to. They invented the shopping mall. This dude, he's like just a freak of nature, man. Like he's just a great guy. And he is who he is because he wakes up every day and asks God, what do you want me to do today?
Yeah.
With the businesses. God tells him he does it. He's a billionaire. Okay. Well, who doesn't want
I love the simplicity of that.
That's
like no bullshit.
It really,
literally.
Yeah.
If you don't believe it, you will not see it. I'm just telling everybody out there. I know some people watching are like, yeah, come on, man. It's woo-woo, it's God stuff, whatever. Listen, you want to be like that, fine. You won't see the results until you believe.
You will, but you will lose your freaking mind doing it.
Not the wholehearted results.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not the earthly things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but where can people go deeper and find out more?
ComebackKings.com.
That's a
ComebackKings.com. All right, guys, that's Preston Ely.
We're going to go see that picture. I can't wait.
We're going to see it. Maybe I'll post it later. But yeah, listen, we are here in Clearwater, rocking it out, taking over Tampa with That One. It's your boy C-Roc and Kinz, Preston Ely. Make sure you subscribe. Go check us out on Motivation Success Network. Shout out to Dennis and his team, and also Evotion Studios here with my man Jet and his team. Thank you guys. Appreciate you. Until next time, be That One.